And what is going on, all of our Zen friends out there? We are back on the Zen Frenz podcast. It's been a minute, and we have Erika Nowlan joining us again here today. I am Alex Gray, your co-host as well too. We're sitting here at May 21st, heading into
Yeah.
summer. We're not there just yet, but with Memorial Day this weekend, I feel like that's the kickoff of summer. Erika, so how's life been? How are you doing? Fill us in. What's been new?
Yeah, I've had some new things going on, which is great. We had Shiba Prom this past weekend, which is a fundraiser every year where we pretend to host a dog prom over Zoom, and we raise money for Shibas in need that are in rescue.
And so you were speaking about this last time, new theme this year. So what was the theme that you guys decided to go with?
So we like puns over there. So we did Shibas in space into the Inuverse,
Oh
like
my
Shiba
God.
Inu. And we had so
Amazing.
much fun. Sookie wore an astronaut costume, of course. We repurposed my friend's dog stroller into a lunar rover. And so she was in,
Amazing.
I got NASA patches and put them on her rain suit, which looks totally like an astronaut suit. And it was really funny. We had so much fun kind of creating a picture on the moon for the photo contest.
I want to go to the universe. That sounds like a place
Yeah.
I want to hang out. That's
Yeah.
that's I just want to be surrounded by these unique fox-looking dogs all day. It sounds like the best place to be,
But like an alien version or like
right?
little astronaut version. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Got
Oh, hey.
got
Oh my
you
God, you
got
can do it.
you
I
got to split the two fingers, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I
May,
I have to tie them together.
Yeah, maybe if you have to like tape the other one right here a little bit, that could help you lock them in place. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the play right there.
Can you do both hands?
Yeah, oh yeah. We come in
Oh
peace.
my
You
God.
know, if they were to land right now, I'd probably throw that up, you know.
Yeah, yeah, for
And they're
sure.
like, actually, that means I'm gonna shoot you right now. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, all the cartoons were wrong when I was growing up.
Yeah, but they were all wrong. At
So
first, I wanted to dress her like Marvin the Martian. Do you know who that is?
I've
He's like
heard.
black and green
Okay,
character, alien character. So
let's look
I
them up.
kind of, yeah, I kind of pulled it off. She had like a black and green tutu thing and a little alien head, but he has a really specific helmet, and I didn't make it work. I did astronaut instead.
Marvin the Martian, an iconic soft-spoken animated character from Warner Bros. Looney Tunes. I
Yeah,
know
Looney Tunes.
exactly who you're talking about now, but that took me a second to think about that one,
Well, it's kind of old school. I don't know if Marvin has been making lots of appearances recently.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny. Oh shoot, always getting chased around
Yeah.
with the gun, at all given
Elmer Fudd,
times. Yeah, Elmer Fudd.
Wesley
Uh,
Wabbit.
yeah. Oh my God, classics, classics.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you forget the Duck too? Donald Duck.
Yeah. Yes, Donald
Oh,
Duck.
just quacking his way around.
And I love the Roadrunner always pulling tricks and
And
like
the wolf.
painting Acme. Yeah, yeah. Wile E. Coyote.
Oh
I
my God, you're a pro.
I apparently so. I This is
Yeah,
like
you're a pro.
bringing me back after school, turning on or Saturday morning or something.
Right? Those
Yeah,
cartoons. Man, it's so
yeah,
good. It's so creative for like the time period that they were in as well too.
yeah. That's so true. I remember, reading or watching about the history of like how Mickey Mouse was animated in to dance with Gene. Uh, he's a very famous dancer from back in
Hmm.
the day. Come on, Erica. Come on, brain. Somebody's watching this going like, it's
Right?
June, blah blah.
They
Anyway,
know
we can
exactly what
look.
the date is.
Yeah, and the date, right? And that was like mind blowing. I mean, being able to have him dance, they were dancing the sequence next to each other, and Mickey is animated. That was like, and it was a long time ago they were able to achieve that. So, um, okay, I'm looking up Gene Kelly. I think it was Gene Kelly.
Gene Kelly, okay.
Yeah.
So I
Gene-
see here it says Mickey Mouse's history spans nearly a century, transforming him from a desperate studio gamble into the most recognized corporate mascot in human history. Um,
Wow.
Birth of an Icon, 1928. The lost character Walt Disney created Mickey in 1928 after losing the rights to first successful character Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. The
Cool.
distributor Charles Mintz. The train ride legend. Walt, an animator, quickly conceptualized a new mouse character originally named Mortimer on a train ride back to Los Angeles. The name change. Walt's wife, Lillian Disney, hated the name Mortimer and suggested Mickey instead, finding it friendlier and more appealing. So,
Cute. I
night,
like Morty Mouse. Morty Mouse,
yeah,
he hosts everyone for Shabbat dinner. I feel like
right?
Morty Mouse.
Come on over, yeah.
Yeah.
Grab a seat.
Yeah, little mouse dinner. Yeah. But yeah, Mickey, that's really interesting. Um, so we had a blast, pun intended, and we raised $4,000 for
Amazing.
Shiba's in Need. Yeah, it felt so good. And I wanted to thank you on camera. Thank you, Zen
Of
Friends, for
course.
donating a gift card to the website. That's so nice.
No, and
We
we're
fill up our raffle basket so that, the more prizes in them, the more appealing they are, the more tickets people buy. So,
so specifically for what you raised, what's the goal with what you raised? Where is that going towards, and what's the main mission there?
yeah, so we have a grant fund. So
Okay.
all the donations fill up our grant fund. And then what happens is we work with rescues all over the country. As long as they're a legitimate rescue or shelter and you have a Shiba or a Shiba mix in your care that needs medical care, like let's say they rescue a dog who has something going on with their leg, and before they adopt them out, they want to get this leg issue resolved and get the dog healthy. So they get a quote, an estimate for the surgery. And rescues aren't overflowing with extra funds for things
Right.
like surgeries. So they can reach out to us as a lifeline to give them to award them these grants that can it goes towards a specific dog's care. It doesn't just kind of generally go to the
Mm,
rescue. It's like, nope, little Mortimer
right.
Shiba needs surgery, and we can apply those funds for that dog, and that way they get the surgery they need,
Hmm.
and then they can get healthy and find their forever home and
That's
be
awesome.
treated like they always should have been. It is awesome. It feels so good. I know a lot of people work in rescue, and it's um, very rewarding but very taxing. It's hard to see these dogs in these situations. What I like about Shiba Prom is we still support that same idea of helping Shibas in rescue, but we kind of, our motto is having fun raising funds. So we do this pretend prom and like have fun prizes to raise money, and then we showcase all the dogs that we've helped because of those donations. And so it really feels fulfilling, but also kind of positive, and it's a little bit lighter, which appeals to me because if I see if some of the situations these dogs go through, I can't sleep at night.
Hmm.
It's so disturbing. So all the credit in the world to all the rescuers who go through that and are able you know, to keep going, knowing they're going to help them. But it's pretty tough,
Yeah,
or it can be.
a lot of pet owners will come up to the booth from time to time, and they tell me about their pet, and they tell me that they, recently got the pet or they rescued the pet, and the pet is anxious. And I've heard it a
Mm.
million different times before. And I say, it's totally understandable. You never know what situation the pet was in before you got the pet, right? A lot of those different triggers that could have happened, or a lot of that trauma that was absorbed during that time period as well, too. But
Mm.
I always say, I'm happy to know that the pet is in a better place now, or on a better track and in a better life.
Yeah.
Because if you rescue a pet, you're going to give them that love and care that they weren't going to get, otherwise. And so that pet is afforded the opportunity to get that type of love, to get that type of care, and to get that type of attention from a family, and that is definitely one of the best ways to go about getting a pet, if that is what you're looking for. And also not to say a bad thing out there too, if anyone does get a pet from different methods like a breeder or anything like that. I feel like every dog or every cat out there should be valued no matter, how they come into someone's life.
Yeah.
But they're in a better place now, and getting acclimated is difficult because, if you're that pet there, we've talked about this before, pets have memory and it sticks with them, and you can see that in different situations they may react differently if they've had a bad experience in the past and they're just not over it yet. It takes really time to heal through
Mm.
that process as well. So all the more great reasons out there to know that pets are finding better places. And also love to hear that you have a niche with the Shiba Prom as well too. Like
Yeah.
specifically, you're looking for Shibas out there who may have some obstacles or may need some medical attention. And these rescues don't necessarily have the funds to be able to get it to them. But how great is it to know that we could get a potential surgery for a Shiba and they could find a better home, and all those bad days are gone. Bright days are ahead for that dog. That's definitely paying it forward. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, it means so much. And um, I love to support the rescue process. And, I agree with you. I believe every pet, deserves that love, no matter where
Hmm.
they came from. And a lot of the rescues that work with us, we form pretty strong bonds with them. They
Hmm.
really, really care about the dogs that they take care of. They take it in personally. They want to give them the best home. They want to find the right forever home, that whole matching process. And so, once they're there, it's good, but you're right. There's a bit of a process. And part
Hmm.
of it is kind of socializing the dog
Hmm.
or letting them know. My parents' dog, Maggie, she's a rescued Scottish Terrier. And when she came to our house, she had never gone down or up a stair before. She
Mm.
didn't know what to do. And she would just stop. There's like one step from their kitchen to living room, and she d- had no idea how to navigate that. And which is sad. That means she was probably in a cage all the time. I mean, I don't know. But she has acclimated. She's grown so much in the last
That's
couple of
great.
years. Yeah, now she's fully confident, but it does take time.
Right.
And the other thing I wanted to share with you, which is Zen Friends related, it sounds like a shameless plug, which I guess technically it is, but it's also absolutely true. So I'm just going to tell you. So my friend Rachel rescued her pitty named Tal, Tal. It's a Hebrew word.
Okay.
And so Tal came to my house for the first time. She has an older brother pitty named Reuben. Yesterday was a girls' day. So Ruben stayed home and Tall came over without, she was rescued later than Ruben. So she
Hmm.
takes her cues off him. Like, what are we supposed to do here? Oh, I see what Ruben's doing. I'll do that.
Okay.
So she was a little untethered. Like, I'm in a new place. And so I'm a little uneasy. And she was sticking to her mom like glue. Like, I'm not sure. She just wasn't
Mm.
chilled out and comfortable.
Right.
So I got out the Zen butter and the lick mat, and I took a video of it. So I can't wait to share it with you. So she not only licked up the peanut butter that has CBD that will help her relax, but the licking motion is really soothing to dogs.
Right.
And sometimes they'll lick things over and over that are not great, like their feet, and then they'll
Right.
get sore. So it's nice to even just have, like, she had gotten most of the peanut butter up, but kept licking it. I think it was soothing. So we were like, good. And it also kind of gives them some stimulation, which might tire them out, satisfy she was running around the backyard and stuff. So she got some physical exercise. This was more like some mental engagement, and it took her mind off things. And then about a half an hour later, she laid down. She wasn't asleep. She was just totally
Chill.
comfortable now. Yeah. And we were like, good job, Tal. And she had a good time rather than being worried about where am
Anxious.
I?
Yep.
And yeah, and where's the door? I want to get out of here. Where's my brother? So it helped build her confidence. She did something herself by herself. She was such a good girl, and so she really perked up about it. It was so sweet to watch.
Man, that's exciting. Was that
Yeah.
was that her first time trying CBD before?
No, no, Rachel
Okay.
uses CBD a lot, but I don't think she's tried a Zen Friends product, and I don't think she's tried something like peanut butter. I think she gets like oil or
Hmm.
drops. So, so she was impressed. She said this works better than the CBD I give them. And she is somebody who is very into holistic medicine for
Hmm.
herself too.
Right.
She knows everything you could ever know about mushrooms and fungi. She's like an expert forager and has her own business doing mushroom tinctures. So it isn't like she's going to give some whatever CBD to her dog. She gives,
Right.
she found a quality product, and she still said that this definitely worked better. The results are obvious. Again, I know it sounds like a shameless plug,
Right.
but
Right.
my friend literally said these things yesterday, unprompted.
Right.
So it so I love to hear that. I love to give you that feedback that we had. It helped our visit. It helped us be less anxious about how tall is and just hang out together and have fun. And I just wanted to see them before we're leaving for the summer. So this was kind of our last hangout for until we come back in the fall as we're headed to Plymouth for the summer. So it was really fun. We had such a nice girls' day out.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
huge. I mean, to hear that as well too, for me, you're talking about the dog gaining its confidence, right? And that comes from human pet owners or just instilling it, right? A lot of the times we just need someone to believe in us or to show us the way to find our confidence, whether it's humans and also pets as well too. So that's really great to hear. For me, though, that gives me personal confidence to speak on the products more.
Mm.
When I'm telling pet owners out there, I have many pet owners out there. We have this one dog was a rescue and it was anxious and they were having a girls' night in and they brought the dog there. And the dog, to start off with, Tall, was very anxious, looking around, pacing, not really sure what to do. But the lick mat provided an activity, provided enrichment, or provided something to do to relieve some stress. And then also the CBD, that's always what I'm most curious about is it really accomplishing that calming effect that we're advertising for it?
Hmm.
Because like we've talked about, it's not trazodone, it's
Yeah.
not Xanax, it's not Prozac, it's not going to knock your dog out, or for humans as well too. It's really just
Mm.
not going to knock you out. It's subtle and it comes on and it's not THC, so it's not necessarily going to get you stoned while you're hanging out for a
Yeah.
girls' night in too. Tall, you have to get that from the separate stash from the humans if that's
Yeah.
what you're looking for.
Right.
But if it's accomplishing that with the calming, that gives us so much more confidence to keep speaking about the Zen, keep speaking about the calming, and saying, hey, we've got this product for you to try. It's natural, it's non-drowsy. Let us know what you think. So when I hear those stories, that boosts me up, that lifts me up as well too, to be like, all right, let's keep going, let's keep pushing this out there. And as we talked about in the beginning of the year, 50% of pets, one in every two pet, is experiencing some form of anxiousness or some
Hmm.
form of anxiety. So when we break down those different situations, if we can have activities for the pets or if we can have calming solutions that are all natural, that's what we're all about. That's what we're looking to push out there. So I'm really excited to hear that.
Yeah, it's just so nice to have that client feedback or possible new customer feedback.
Hmm.
Um, I sent her home with it. So I was like,
Okay, good.
yeah, I was like, you should keep this. So maybe she'll re-up after she empties out the peanut butter packet. But it, it was very clear. It was, like you said, it can be subtle. So
Hmm.
it was just very obvious that it helped. And then Tall had a good time. She wasn't like disconnected from us or,
Hmm.
just tired and okay, well, she's not pacing around, so it's better. No, it was
Right.
like totally, totally different. And it built her confidence as a rescue to go to a new place. We have Sookie's not here right now, but there's dog smells everywhere. There's strange noises and strange smells, she's not used to. There's a lot for them to kind of take in. It could maybe be overwhelming. And so, they could shut down or be nervous. And then at the CBD made her feel like, oh, smells are fine and the noise is fine. I'm fine. You're fine. We're all okay.
It's fine. Everything will be
Yeah.
fine here.
Yeah. Yeah. And then my parents visited and she gave so much love to my dad. She cuddled him on the couch and gave him kisses. And so she was having a fabulous time once she had her CBD. So it made like the whole experience better for everyone.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
amazing.
honestly can't say good enough things. I mean, I wonder if any listeners are like, sure,
Yeah,
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 sure.
right.
She's
Yeah,
getting a
of course.
kickback.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
huh. Yeah,
Right as we get off, he's like, here you go.
kick back that feedback. Let me slide really quick. All right, here we go. Let's
Yeah.
go to the moon.
Like Erica, you're laying it on a little thick, like ease back. I honestly, that is what our experience was. So I was really excited to tell you today.
Hey, the pets need their zen like the humans need their zen, for
Yeah.
movie night in, whatever you're up to. For us, Ratatouille, we watched this week, me and Gracie. We definitely got some
Fun.
zen before watching that on
Yeah.
that's a great movie. I forgot how much I loved it, but
It's one of those
man,
where you forget
what a
how much.
concept. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pixar's they just got banger after banger after banger. There are so many good animated movies out there with the stories as well too.
Yeah.
Hilarious too, like hilarious different scenes. And like right away I was like, so should we go to Paris? Like
Oh,
should we go one
were
time?
you booking tickets?
Like now I'm inspired, we're going to Paris.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, whatever next birthday or anniversary or something that you have going on, maybe that's where you're headed. That'd be amazing.
So I've got a good one for you.
Okay.
I've become obsessed with tennis. I don't know if I've
Okay.
told you since the year started, but it's completely taken over my life. It's become my hobby outside of work, and I'm playing about like 5 days a week. So
You
it's
did tell me a bit, but
okay.
this is grown now that
Yeah,
you've gotten
no,
more
it's
into it.
you could see it in my energy, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
all about it. I'm wanting to play 5 days a week. I'm doing doubles, I'm doing singles. I played in my first tournament this past weekend, which was
How did it
awesome.
go?
It went really well. So it's called USTA. If anyone's out there listening in and trying to get involved, USTA stands for United States Tennis Association. And basically, you can get involved in any city in America. You can figure out where your local USTA leagues are. You can get networked with people, get out there and playing. And they have different levels for tennis. So when you start off as a beginner, you're around a 2.5, and then you go up to a 3.0. Then you go to 3.5, which is intermediate. And then 4.0 is really skilled. 4.5 is even better. And then 5.0 would be like watching a Division One tennis player. Now,
Gotcha.
there's even more to go than that. Like the real
Oh,
pros that you see on TV, those are 7.0 and above players. So
wow.
if I'm at 3.5 right now, I got a whole journey to go ahead of that.
Hey,
Uh,
you've come up from
yeah,
2.5 though. That's
right.
good.
Yeah, get a little bit, little by little. So
Yeah.
I entered in this tournament. It was 32 players in the singles draw, and I made it to the round of eight, the quarterfinal. So
Hey,
that
on
was
your first tournament. That's
first tournament.
awesome.
Yeah, first tournament. So really stoked on it.
How
And
did your stamina go? Like, did you feel worn out by any of the matches?
singles is no joke compared to doubles. Like
Right?
singles, the amount of running that you have to do, it really felt like I was in a boxing match. And you have like a lot of those moments where you're like, am I gonna throw up? Like, no, just hold it together. Like,
You need your
breathe.
coach in the corner,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
with the water bottle.
They're like, come on, like, vamos, vamos. I'm like, no, I'm fucking
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
over here.
Massage your
Yeah,
shoulders for a
right,
second.
right.
You get it,
I
get
need
back
a
out there.
physio. Someone get me the physio.
Yeah.
Um, but no, yeah, the stamina was a lot. Like to be able to play in a match, and the person I competed against was legit as well too, and
Ooh,
that was a really cool experience. What I was gonna say though is
yeah.
in the tennis world, different than golf. In golf, they call them majors. In tennis, they call them grand slams. And
Mm,
there's four grand slams every year. The first one is in Melbourne, Australia. It's called the Australian Open. The second one is the French Open, and that
Mm.
is coming up next week, and that's going to be in Paris. So that would
Oh,
be that'd be a life dream. It's called Roland Garros.
mm,
And so to go to Roland Garros would be like a dream event to go to one day. Definitely recommend out there if you've never been to a Grand Slam, that you gotta go check out. And the thing that's unique about the European tournaments is they play these all on different surfaces.
mm,
So it's a hard court, kind of like an outdoor basketball court surface in Australia. In French, it's clay. So
that's very
clay,
different.
yeah. So clay you can slide on, right? Whole different
Yeah.
like mechanism to that as well too. And then the third Grand Slam is like the creme de la creme, Wimbledon
Mm,
in London. So that's the everyone's favorite tennis tournament of the year.
sure.
That's on grass. So that's even crazier to think about playing on
It,
grass
yeah, yeah.
because if you
Have you ever?
I've played on grass before. Actually,
Uh,
in Nantucket, I played one time in the summertime. And the thing that's really interesting about grass is if you hit a ball on it, like if you hit a slow shot, it automatically like dies right
yeah,
away.
it's
So you got to
yep.
be really, really quick to get to the balls. Wimbledon would definitely be another dream come true as well.
Oh yeah.
And then lastly is the U.S. Open, and that's in New York in Flushing, Queens. I have been before to the U.S. Open.
Oh, awesome. Who
That's
did
in
you see play?
September.
Like any big names
You
that
know, I didn't see like a major match. I kind of went
mm,
in at night. The thing that's weird about U.S. Open is they'll literally have matches going on at like 1 and 2 in the morning.
I had no idea.
It's like all week
Wow.
long, and it's just going, going, going. And we stopped in and watched some doubles match late at night and had a blast. Like couldn't had
Cool.
so much fun. Actually, the most famous player that I saw was Nick Kyrgios. He's this Australian bad boy tennis player. He's got a whole lot of swag to him, and
Cool.
saw him in person. But yes, if you do get into the tennis scene, those are the four Grand Slams. And if you are wanting to go to Paris one day, I would definitely recommend pairing it with this Roland Garros tournament. It really looks like a blast to be able to check out one day.
Absolutely. I looked up Nick Kyrgios. Wow. He's
Okay,
like,
and another one for you too.
yeah.
Break Point. It's called Break Point on Netflix. It's a great documentary that'll really take you into the life behind not just the men, but these women professional tennis players
Yeah.
and everything that they go to compete on the highest stage. That's also a definite big recommendation out there is to check out Break Point.
Cool. I see it's on Netflix.
Hmm.
I'll check that out for sure. That is so cool. It must be exciting to have played your first tournament and gotten a feel of how it goes and maybe some, you know, when it's your first time, you're like, where do I go? Who does
Hmm.
what? And can I follow that person? They look like
Right.
they know what they're doing, you
Right.
know? So now that
I
you've
think
kind
I'll
of
go that way.
gotten, yeah, yeah, right. You've gotten your feet wet a little and so I wanted to ask you, when you played against the guy who was quite skilled, did it up your game to play against someone that was like,
Oh,
playing
yeah,
very well?
definitely. And that's my best advice out there is, you know, I played professional paintball. I started when I was 12 years old and I went pro in 2016. So let me do a little bit of counting there. You know, that was like it almost took me 10 years to go pro in
Mm,
paintball. Maybe like 8 or 9 years total. And you keep in mind that's like every weekend going, making a 3 hour drive somewhere to practice, going on flights, doing the tournaments, climbing up the divisional ranks, playing. But
yeah.
the fastest way to get better is honestly just to play against better competition. You know, you can pat yourself on the back if you're looking good against players that are less skilled and they're wowed by you. But really, the best way to get good quick is to get put in your place real quick because it gets your reaction times just that much faster.
Yes, yes.
You start processing things like, oh, you know, that's going to come back at me a lot quicker, or if I don't move to that spot, you know, that's going to get put away on me.
Yeah.
So my best
It gets
advice
your
out there
hustle.
yeah, it just sparks it up a notch, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I'm always looking to
Cool.
play against, like, if let's say if I'm a 3.5, I want to play against 4.0s. I want to play
Mm.
against 4.5s. A 5.0 would probably dust me, but let's go. I want to
Yeah,
play
let's
against a
let's try it.
5.5. Why not? 5.0.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when I played against this other player, yeah, like you could definitely tell like all the skill set was there. Usually a lot of times what I'll try to do in a point is like I'll just try to keep it at you, 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 and then eventually you're going to hit it out. Your knees are
Mm-hmm.
you're wobbling and you can't really hang in. He would just get everything back, everything
Oh,
back, everything back, everything back, and then eventually hit a winner. And
oh man. So you have these long rallies.
long rallies. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So the next step is gonna be to hit winners for sure. I gotta go for it instead of playing it
Right.
safe
Yeah.
in a lot of these points. And keep playing, keep practicing, playing against better competition. There's a million different YouTube videos out there. My
Sure.
Instagram algorithm is just full of tennis instructional things that I see every
Sure.
day. And Yoshi, his favorite thing is the tennis ball. That's all he
Oh,
wants
so
all
you
day.
have your own little ball boy retrieving for you.
I got tennis racket. I can whack it out there. He'll go get it all
Yeah.
day, and we're
Oh,
happy. We're living a happy life over here.
that is so sweet.
Mhm.
So, how do you decide what kind of grip, like when you're going to do your serve?
It's a
Have
great
you
question.
worked with a coach or do you do that off of? I would think it would be so hard to learn that off online.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it to you right now. A different type of tennis grips. Okay, so there's a continental grip. It's called. You'll hear people use that word a lot, and that's known as a hammer grip. So basically, like let's say this is the racket, you're gonna grab it here.
Oh, mhm,
So grab it as if you're holding a hammer. And that's what coaches will tell you to do. They'll tell you most everything that you do, you want to hold in a continental grip.
mm,
So when you're serving, you're actually not serving like this, you're serving like that. So the
mhm,
serve and then you pronate outwards. That's what a lot of the videos will tell you too. But when you strike it, you want to strike it above your head and you want to strike it with a continental grip. Okay. When you're doing forehands, let's say, that's more of what's known as a semi-Western grip. A semi-Western grip is the most popular forehand grip in modern tennis. It places the hand underneath the handle, allowing players to hit aggressively heavy topspin while keeping the ball deep.
mm.
So instead of holding it like this, now you're actually going to rotate your hand a little bit that way, and then you hold the racket. So when you spin, you top spin, that's going to make the ball go faster. And that's going to really change people's games. Like if you're
Yes.
playing at a certain level, you can hit the ball back and forth, but it may not have any spin on it. And that's where people take their game to kind of the next level and kind of following all these different instructions and how to hold the racket and the different grips is they'll
Mhm,
learn how to grip the racket correctly and then go from there. So my one tip for semi-Western out there for anyone who's looking to get in and play, what you do is you put a tennis racket, you lay it flat on the ground, and when it's laying flat on the ground, you pick it up, right? How would your hand be if you pick that racket up off the ground and that's your
mhm.
grip? That's it, right there.
Oh, that's
That's it,
smart.
right there.
Whatever's natural to you.
Whatever you pick it up as right there, that's your grip. And then you actually bring
Uh-huh.
it back and then you would go forward like that from there.
Very
It's
cool.
it's very Karate Kid, wax on, wax
Yeah,
off,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But those are the two main grips that I would recommend. Continental when you're serving, when you're up at the net and you're doing volleys, they're called. And then for
Mm.
your forehands, I recommend the semi-Western, and that's the trick. You can give me $120 before or after the podcast. That's what the lesson cost me, but you're welcome for the day.
Yeah. You just need to get sponsored by like Prince rackets or something like
Right?
that.
How about a Zen
Yeah.
Frenz sponsorship? We got to bring the pet world into
Ooh,
the
oh
tennis
my
world. A little
God.
cross collab
Amazing.
there.
I love it. I love that idea.
So,
So do you work on your follow through? That's another thing with this. You've got your grip and you hit the ball a certain way and try to manipulate it, with spin. But then your follow through was always like how you put some more oomph on it.
absolutely. And that is such a big thing, especially in golf and tennis. Like I know so many of my friends now, and I'm 30 now too, right? So I'm not what I I could say what I once was, but like professional paintball, lacrosse, football in high school, all of those things had their time, but you get to a certain stage in life where like you're not going to play those things forever, especially week to
Yeah.
week. So especially, as a younger adult now, everyone's playing golf, or a lot of
Oh,
people play
sure.
tennis too. Golf for me is painful because I think it's the hardest sport out there where you hit it, the ball doesn't necessarily go. For me, especially, like I can have great shots, but I have a lot of shots where I'm like, man, like I saw it and it didn't go where I wanted to go. So I always say I'm more at peace with tennis than I am at
Mm,
golf. But the lesson in golf, especially, is like when you see someone on the driving or something like that, it's not to try to hit it as hard as you can. Actually, the ball's going to go farther if you don't hit it as hard, but you use gravity to let it just, like if I take this pendulum back and swing it and I let
yeah.
I let gravity pull it down, that's going to give me the full stroke to go all the way, right? Well, same
Yeah.
same thing in tennis. You don't really want to like grip your forehand really hard and try to muscle the ball back there. That's not going to give you the spin you're looking for, and it's not going to give you the proper rotation. So what you actually want to
Yeah.
do is there's a movie out there. I think it's called The Greatest Game Ever Invented. It's a golf movie with Shia LaBeouf that Disney made. And in the beginning scene of the movie, he's telling him how to grip the club. And he's saying, imagine you're holding a dove, like a real bird, in between both your hands. You
Oh,
you want to grip it as much to where you're not going to let the dove fly away,
uh-huh.
but you don't want to grip it too hard to where you'll kill the bird that's in your hands, right? There's a middle place in between that of where you're holding it. It's not too firm, but it's not too light. It's actually kind of relaxed. And being relaxed
Hmm.
in both sports is really, really important. Just not actually trying to muscle it. So in tennis, actually, when you're hitting that forehand, it's the same thing where you really want to be holding your racket pretty loosely so that you can get the whip effect from
Yeah.
your wrist, and that's where you see those forehands just go right down the line. So yeah, those are some good tips out there if you're listening in.
Really good tips. And that you need a little bit of finesse. It's not just brute force. And you can see that in baseball too. There's some power hitters, but I feel like the more clever players don't hit it quite as hard, but they hit it where they want it to go and how they want it to go. And so that's, depending on the pitch.
And that's placement. So
Mm,
some of the best players, they see the court before they take the shot. They don't necessarily need to slam it every time, but if you're back there and you're not up here, they'll just hit a nice drop shot and it'll
yeah.
land right there and you can't get to it. And
They'll just chop it and so
oh
it
yeah,
dies. It like spins into itself.
that's it. That's
Oh
called a
yeah.
drop shot.
Yeah.
You see me going like this, that's a whole
Yeah.
nother, because that's different than this. So now you're using gravity in the different direction. Super fun.
Yeah. So it depends what your opponent gave to you. So you have to do what you wanted to do, but also manipulate or respond to how they hit it toward you. And if they hit a drop shot and now you're at the net and they're going to try to lob it over your head, so you're kind of
That's
ready
right.
to
That's
run
right.
back. But then
Yeah.
what if they don't? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like your reaction time is huge. So it's an interesting. It's um I feel like a thinker's game, even though it's very
hmm
active. It's You still have to be kind of aware of a lot of things.
And not just the mental side of it, it's the emotional side of it too. I've been in matches where, I'll have an opponent say that I cheated or, their ball was in when I said it was out and the
Yeah,
ball was like clearly out or, I'll hit a ball in and they say, it was out and I know that it was
yeah,
in, right? And emotionally, that can trigger you a little bit sometimes, right? And I've had situations where something didn't go my way and I was in the match And after that moment, the entire rest of the match just crumbled down.
Ah,
All of the stuff that I do routinely were not routine anymore. I could hit my serve 9 out of 10 times, and I'm hitting it 2 out of 10 times after that moment. And the emotions, they start to take over your body. Your body starts to get heavy. Your mechanics start to
mm,
slow down. All the things that are normal to you, you can't do normally anymore because it's an emotional game just much as it is a mental and a physical game as well too. So for athletes, just like in business as well too, I think having that skill for short-term memory, being able to let things go, being able to reset and refocus and get ready for what's next, especially in tennis when it's point to point, that's
yeah.
that's a lifelong practice to be able to control your emotions and not let things get in your head or take over your body. So that's something that I'll be practicing as well too, going forward.
Yeah, it's very hard to dig yourself out of that funk because if you aren't succeeding in, I should have gotten that shot, I should have been able to run there, but like you said, you've kind of weighed down, you
Hmm.
feel that it's stacking up, like failure after failure, or so it can be a challenge to kind of take a second and
Hmm.
breathe. That you can bounce the ball as many times as you want before you serve, so just do like 80 bounces.
Yeah, right.
You can chill,
My
chill out in a
opponent's
minute.
like, what's going on
Yeah,
here?
come
You
on.
know?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's in the rule book. I could do it.
yeah, yeah. Show me in the
Yeah.
rule book where it says I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that one day where there's like a line judge and we get into like a
Yeah,
really dramatic situation.
yeah.
That'll be a fun one.
Do you know who John McEnroe is?
Of course.
Okay, yeah,
Of
yeah. So
course.
you can have your McEnroe moment.
So I've seen Borg versus McEnroe, the movie. Have you seen it?
No, I know
Okay,
of it. No.
you gotta watch it with Rick.
Okay,
It's a that's one of the ones before bed that I for sure have watched in the near future or
that's
in
great.
recent times. But
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf also plays him as well, and he's
Oh.
out of his mind. You kidding me? That was right on the line. Use your fucking eyes,
Yeah.
crazy guy, right? But if you take
Yeah.
that type of personality and you bring it into tennis, a
Yeah.
gentleman's game.
Right, a
It's
gentleman's game.
it's
That's
a
what's so
gentleman's
funny
game,
about it.
but
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm pretty sure he's probably from Massachusetts too, either Massachusetts or New York. But you get
That's a good
a
question.
hot head from one of those places
Yeah,
and bring him
yeah.
into tennis, and now you got a whole lot of entertainment that's waiting for you. But
That
he was
is
before my
hilarious.
time, but I've seen a ton of
Hmm.
ton of the content about him.
Yeah, yeah. He could give it to the judge pretty,
Oh
pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah.
So
I don't know if he was a racket breaker though. I don't remember if he was somebody who would just like pound it into
slam the
the
racket.
court. Yeah. I
He
remember him
probably was.
yelling. Yeah, probably was. Probably was. He probably had to bring like 15 rackets because he
Right?
went through them so fast.
It's like a rock star, when they finish
With
their
the
set
guitar.
and they want to break the guitar on stage and you're
Yeah.
like, why? That's such a nice
Why?
guitar. You're like, why?
Yeah.
But at the same time here, like, yeah, that was pretty epic. You slam the
Right, right.
guitar.
Like just trade it out real quick for like a replica one and
Right?
destroy that.
Yeah. Here,
Yeah.
give me that one. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Boom. Boom.
Yeah. Okay, so to get back to what you're doing with Shiba Prom as well, we have a
Oh
shout
yeah.
out, and that
Mm.
is going to be National Rescue Dog Day was celebrated
Yeah.
yesterday. So that's Wednesday, May 20th. This annual event is dedicated to raising awareness about millions of shelter animals awaiting permanent families and honoring the profound impact rescue dogs have on human lives. Really quick here, it says the Awareness Day was founded in 2018 by author Lisa Wienbrink or Wiebrank through her organization National Rescue Dog Day. She was inspired by her own rescued pup Cooper, whom she saved from a vacant lot in Los Angeles. The National Day calendar officially registers the holiday annually to celebrate these resilient animals. Love to hear that, Erica. You're a part of that,
Yeah.
and you're contributing in
Yeah.
a real way.
Yeah. I saw all the posts on socials yesterday about rescue dogs, and it just made me feel so good to be part of it. and part of the awareness of it.
So I see that hashtag out there. I've seen the adopt
Yeah.
don't shop. I've also seen Gotcha Day.
Yeah,
So the Gotcha Day, can you explain that to no one who knows that?
absolutely. So a lot of rescue dogs, they have to guess how old they are, and they
Right.
certainly don't know when they were born.
And I've
So
asked that a million times too. Like, how old's your dog? Oh, we think he's, or we
we
think
think,
she's.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's like I think they might use things like their teeth and just some other signs of aging to guess what stage they are in their journey. But a lot of us like to celebrate our dog's birthday,
Mm.
and they don't really they could either arbitrarily pick a day or they could celebrate their gotcha day, which is the day they got rescued and became a part of their forever family. And that can be the anniversary that serves kind of like their birthday. So, well, I'll see posts from rescued friends on social and they'll say, "It's my gotcha day." This, and it's such a special celebration. My birthday is special, but a gotcha day means something else. It also means that they got rescued, and it I it just makes it all the more sweet.
Let's go. So, if you're interested out there how to support shelter pups, if you want to honor the spirit of the day throughout the year, animal welfare groups emphasize several impactful actions. The first is adopt. Provide a permanent, loving home to a dog in need. Many different ways for you to figure that out there in your local communities. There's local shelters that you can reach out to. There's services. There's events that will have pets there as well too. So adopt. That's going to be one of our first recommendations. Next is fostering. Offer a temporary safe home to help a pet decompress and free up space in crowded facilities. Anything is better than nothing, especially when I think about fostering, and that could be a good first step for you to see, what it's like for you to have a pet and if you find it
Hmm.
compatible. After that, it's going to be volunteer, help local shelters by walking dogs, grooming, or helping with the events. Great way to get engaged with your local community as well too. Next up after that, this is something that Erika was able to accomplish this past week, and that's going to be to donate, provide financial support or supplies like blankets, treats, and toys to these shelter foundations as well too. And then last is educate, spread awareness on social media, advocate for local spay and neuter programs, and let's get pets finding homes out there. One of the best things that we can be doing, and for these pets as well, everyone deserves a good home out there, deserves to be taken care of, and a lot of times people just need to have that awareness to know about it. That if they're looking for that first pet, this is a good method for you to be able to find one.
Yeah, and I was thinking while you were talking about all the different ways that a dog comes to a rescue, all the circumstances that can be. Some are what you might call street dogs or strays. Some are from somebody who can't care for them anymore and would rather see them in another home being cared for than being in their own home, when they where they can't really afford their food or something's happened
Hmm.
that changes their life circumstances. I would say there is one that seems a little preventable besides the cruelty cases, which people should just not be cruel to animals. That would
Hmm.
be great. But it's the designating someone who will take your pet in the event that you have a serious injury or
Hmm.
illness or pass away. Because then a lot of families, it's a scramble who's gonna take. I mean, it's a significant responsibility, and there's a lot going on. If someone's sick or injured, and oh, now they've got this extended hospital stay, what do we do with the dog? And families get a little panicked about that. I think it really can help if you can think ahead to, talking to somebody in your life that would be willing to be that person, and having that be known who that person is. Just one more thing to kind of have an assurance policy that your dog won't end up in a shelter because no one really could take them, and they just lost you and now they're completely unmoored, and that to me seems like a bit of a preventable thing.
Yeah, it's almost like having like not like a will, but like like a godmother or like a godfather as well too. Like if anything's gonna
Yeah,
happen, like
yes.
you got a home that's waiting for you. And
Uh, can you do a Godfather impression and say that?
I invite you to the day of my puppy's wedding, and you show up looking like this. And then the music's like I
I
remember
am
my
the dog father.
I remember my dad made me watch that when I was like 10.
Oh, that's a little
You know
young.
the scene where
Yeah, yeah,
choking out the
yeah.
guy. And I
How did you
remember
feel about
thinking,
the horse head in the bed? That was,
oh, phenomenal.
yeah,
Or put the hand on the table and like the whole
yeah.
thing. Yeah,
Oh my
that
God.
yeah, and I grew up in New York, so no,
Oh,
have a ton of Italian friends, you know.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
nothing too suspicious, they all made their way just fine over there,
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So yeah, sure. You're in the laundry business. Okay, sounds
Yeah, the
good.
laundry.
But yeah, I actually remember being pretty bored when I was watching that movie at the time. Maybe I'd have a newfound appreciation for it.
I mean,
Um,
it's kind of
it's
cinema.
long.
Like there's
Yeah.
yeah, it's long and it's slow and there's epic moments, but to get between the epic moments, like I saw on Family Guy, Peter was watching Stripe and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Stripe. I love this movie from the 80s." And he's like, "It takes forever for them to even join the army." Like he's driving a cab in New York, still driving the cab, still
Yeah.
driving the cab. It was just
Yeah.
it was just funny that, it seems yeah, you remember like the really great parts of the movie, but watching the whole thing is maybe not all it's cracked up to be.
So I'd say Goodfellas. That's one of my favorite ones.
Mm.
And then my personal favorite is American Gangster. Have you ever seen that one?
Oh, yeah, yeah, for
That
sure.
was 2007. Denzel Washington tells the story about how he brought blue magic to the streets of Harlem in New York and became one of the best, we'll call it, ingredient suppliers in all of history. So, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the takeaway from that
Yeah,
movie.
that's the takeaway,
That's the tagline.
If you got a dollar and a dream, we'll see where it can take you. It'll take you all the
Yeah.
way. Yeah, the story of Frank Lucas. That's one of my
Oh,
favorite movies of all time. Is
mm.
American Gangster. Big fan of that one.
Are you a fan of Ridley Scott as a director generally, do you think?
I know some Ridley Scott movies. Not
Yeah.
not particularly like my favorite is Christopher Nolan. That's my
Hmm.
favorite director. Really
Yeah.
looking forward to the Odyssey this year. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think
That
that's
should be
going to be like a
great.
3 hour movie, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Definitely a bathroom break in between there at some point.
Yeah. A
But
little intermission.
oh yeah, the audio, the cinematic,
Mm.
the actors, just like the Dark Knight trilogies are my favorite. One of my favorite movies is called The Prestige. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, yeah.
10 out of 10. Like,
Hmm.
and that movie led you on all the way to the end, and you thought you knew what was going on, and then you just got mind twisted at the end of it. That was
It's just
phenomenal.
like,
Oh
what?
yeah. What?
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
didn't see
yeah.
it all along, it's just right in front of my face. Like,
How
um,
about Inception? Or no, that's
yes,
Christopher Nolan, right?
Inception for sure, that's up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Inception is up there. Yeah, some of my favorites are those. Um, Yeah, love some good action. Love some good thrillers. Not the biggest horror fan myself. What about you,
Mm.
Erica? You like some horror?
I like zombie stuff.
Okay,
So Rick and I kind of got into watching Korean zombie movies.
Korean
And
zombie movies.
yeah,
All
I
right,
know it sounds
you're off
kind
the
of
beaten path.
specific. Yeah, it sounds a little niche, but there are more than you think. And I don't know, we kind of had exhausted like the English language ones, so we had to expand our search. But horror, I don't mind a little bit of gore, and I think I love some humor in my horror movie. But the jump scares and the psychological horror, I don't watch that quite as much. It's not like it makes me so tense. which is not so fun to just like be like this for hours. The zombie movies I just think are funny. I like to look at the effects that they used and like how do they play the undead in this one or whatever kind of take that the movie has that makes it unique from others on all the other things in the same genre.
Okay, so I've got a top four here. These are modern masterpieces.
Okay.
28 Days Later,
Mm.
2002. Train to Busan,
Oh yes,
2016.
that's a Korean one.
Dawn of the Dead, 2004. World War Z, 2013. What's
Yeah,
what's your
that was
what's your
good.
number
That was
what's
with
your number one there?
yeah, that was with Brad Pitt. I Train to Busan was epic and amazing and tore your heart out of your chest, on like the zombie would. Um, there's the ending is just like no. And I think for American audiences, they would have like made a happy ending or something, but no, in some of the Asian countries, they just go for it. They just tear your heart
hmm
right out. So yeah,
And you
so
like
that's
that.
yeah, I know that sounds, but it was very well done and took you on a cool journey. So that one I think I would say is my top. Yeah.
How about I Am Legend with Will Smith? You ever see that one?
Yeah, I have seen that one. That was really good. That was really
Okay.
good. Yeah. What
And
about you? Did you see it?
I've seen it. A lot of this stuff almost even reminds me about COVID as well too, in a weird
Yes.
way. It's
Yes.
like somehow, this thing's going on, and it's in a lab, it gets out of the lab, one person
Yeah.
gets infected, that person goes and sneezes and shakes their hand with that person flies around the world, and
Yes.
then next thing you know, it starts spreading in that continent, and then this bird, takes it and flies over
Yeah.
here and takes it to the and next thing you know, it's a global quarantine that's going on, but it can happen. It can
Yeah,
happen.
right. I mean, it reminded when it happened in real life, it was like so apocalyptic. And
Right.
I guess I do watch a lot of apocalyptic stuff. I took a break around COVID because it was happening in real life. So
hmm
it wasn't so much of a fantasy and
Right.
it took me a while to get back to wanting to see stuff like that or
hmm
be entertained by it. But it's so eerie,
hmm
just to drive where you were used to people being and there's no one in the street and stuff like that. That's just straight out of those zombie movies,
Oh yeah.
the abandoned buildings and stuff like that.
And in the vampire movies, it happens that way too, right? So
Yeah.
one person gets bit, and then next thing you know, what's the one I watched recently? Have you guys seen Sinners yet?
No,
Okay,
no.
you put that on
Okay,
the list. You got to see
okay.
Sinners. That I think that won a Globe, do they call it? Last
The
year
Golden
or
Globe.
Oscar. I think it was an Oscar or a Globe, either one. But Michael B. Jordan got I think
He's
actor of
awesome.
the year. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah,
he plays two characters in that movie, and they're both are himself. But
huh.
it's a twist on vampire and music and the South. Definitely recommend it, and it has that same zombie type vibe to it. So that's right up your alley.
Cool.
Right up your alley,
Okay.
Erica. Right up your
Thanks
alley.
for the recommendation. That's amazing. I didn't know that it was kind of in that. I guess I didn't know what it was about.
Yeah, so it's and it's got really good music to it too.
Hmm.
I think
Love a good
that's
soundtrack.
yeah, partly why it's got so many awards as well. We
Hmm.
saw it in theaters. I think there are definitely certain movies you want to see in theaters versus, at home for like the sound
Yeah.
effects and the experience and such. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely the most recent suggestion to put out there.
So do you jump out of your seat or are you a pretty cool customer when you're watching
I'm
something
a
like
cool
that?
customer. It wasn't like a horror movie. Like, yes, it was scary, but I feel like it was a little humorous about it too.
Love that.
There are certain horror movies though, I just don't need to watch it. As a kid, I used to like it, but now I'm like, I actually don't want nightmares. Like
Yeah, yeah,
going to
yeah.
sleep at night. I'll pass on the Exorcist child that was in
Yeah.
Connecticut in 1952, and I'm learning about it now. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I'll take a
I
flyer on that one.
Yeah, yeah, same, same. Rick doesn't mind some of that stuff, but I would rather he watch it and just tell me about it. I
Right?
want to watch it.
It's like, taking like a quick pass there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You go back to Pixar.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Ratatouille, right up my alley.
Ratatouille.
I'll walk away feeling great about myself, nice and positive, a whole new outlook
Yeah.
on life. Everything is possible.
Yeah, I kind of have a palate cleanser after a horror movie. Like I need to watch something that's
Lighten it up a little bit.
real. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So, Erica, what's in the near future for you all? We're sitting here at May 21st. I know you'll be heading east sometime soon. How's summer looking for you guys right now?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're getting stuff set up and then, resuming our summer. We love being by the beach in the summer. So looking forward to beach days. As far as Suki goes, she's going to take more nose work classes where she gets to be an expert at sniffing. She's gotten a really high opinion of herself about sniffing since she started doing so, at getting praised,
Or
good
all
job,
those
you sniffed
awards
that.
that she won
Y-
recently too.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. So, it's not wrong that she has a high opinion of herself. It's just,
Right.
it's just, it's just the truth.
That's just how you go about it in the universe.
In
It's
the universe.
she didn't choose the universe. The universe chose her,
That's right. Queen of the universe.
Let's go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're really looking forward to our summer. This period of time is a little bit of a transition since
Hmm.
we're there for so long, and we've got, like it's like a second house kind of situation. So the travel is what it is. But then once we can get all together and resume things, then we're off and running to having a really fun summer.
All right, let's go. Well, hey, plenty of beaches we're wishing you, plenty of sunshine, plenty of
Thank
zen as
you.
well too, plenty of safe
Mm,
travels, plenty of happy health. To Suki, still going strong at
thank
this age as
you.
well too. The award winner herself, she's got all the grand slams that I'm looking for.
That's
She's got to work
right.
her way
That's
up to
right.
there. But yeah, no, we're really stoked to hear about your summer. Also to be able to stay connected here as well too. Another big announcement that we have for Zen Frenz today to shout out is we launched our full collection of our hemp extract CBD products on Chewy this week. That
Woo! That's
yeah,
amazing.
that's
That is
something
awesome.
that's 7 years in the making.
Wow.
It took a long time to get there. Getting NASC certified took a year as well too for us to get that badge and seal of approval on our products.
Wow.
They're actually holding an NASC convention here in Phoenix, Arizona this week. The National Animal Supplement Council. That's who we're shouting out. But if you're listening to the podcast now, we need your help. And what we need help with is reviews. We want to get your honest
Mm.
feedback on these products. We can't do it without you. And to be able to have other pet owners out there getting to see what your experience is like with Zen Friends products. So if you're listening in now, shoot us a DM on Instagram, send us an email through the website. If you're interested in trying out these products and reviewing them, we need your help out there. This is a big platform that we're talking about here. There's over 21 million pet shoppers on the Chewy platform and will now be in the hemp supplements category for Zen Friends. So
Wow.
this is going to open a ton of doors out there to a lot of new people who haven't been with us, like Erika from day one when we started out in the small business stage, getting to this with Zen Friends. So we are so appreciative to have Chewy be able to look out for us and give us the opportunity, and also to all of our friends out there who have been on this ride with us since we started about 7 years ago to make it to this stage. We couldn't have done it without you, and now the work doesn't stop though. Now the work's gonna keep getting more. So we need all hands on deck here to be able to build up these listings as we make our debut on such a significant platform. So big week, Erica. Big week in the
That's
making,
that's
and
wonderful.
we can't
Eh,
wait to just keep pushing out these products and reaching new pet homes out there.
that is incredible. Chewy is a huge, I mean, so many people, including myself, use
Hmm.
Chewy to get their dog's meds
Hmm.
or to have auto ship things that they need all the time. And they sent their packages arrive so fast.
Hmm.
So I think that would be fantastic, even for your current customers to use Chewy. They can do an auto ship and not have to think about. I think you might already have that on your site too, but
Right.
yeah, but it's just that's just fantastic, and it can reach more homes and get a bigger audience. So we'll get on there, we'll get the products, and so we can write a verified review if you buy
Hmm.
it from them. And then, you know, if you can put a picture of, or a video with your
Hmm.
review, it really makes it all the more eye-catching and interesting. And let's build up Zen Friends. Let's get
Let's
people
go.
noticing. Yeah, let's show Chewy, yes, people want this and like it. And we, as your supporters, your
Yeah.
customers and clients, we want to, get behind Zen Friends and big you up. Yeah, that's amazing.
Let's go. And we're competing
Yeah.
against some of the biggest companies that exist in the industry. But we're proof out there that if you believe in something and you stay true to your standards and you stay true to your quality and in what you're making and you keep staying at it, doors can open. And believe me, a million doors have been slammed in my face before getting to this moment. Probably from their online portal too. At this time we're going with other
Mm.
companies who better align, or at this
Yeah.
time it's a no, and at the no, 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 no. Well, we just kept staying out there, staying the course, with what we believe in, all to have a buyer walk right up to us a year ago and say, hey, I know exactly who your brand is. I want to bring on the full collection. And that was a life-changing moment, for us, that someone was
Wow.
noticing all the hard work we were doing over the years and is opening the door for an opportunity like that as well. So yeah, we're all fired up here. We're all
Yeah, I
hands on
bet.
decks to be going to the next stage. And
You're
I
popping bottles.
yeah, let's pop some champagne. Let's go out to dinner. We got a little celebration coming up this summer. You got to celebrate the moments, right? Especially the milestones. I mean, especially for me, I've gone door to door in Madison, Wisconsin, looking for independent businesses to sell Zen Friends products, and it was
Mm.
all a part of the journey. And we've actually never had a distributor distribute our products, up until
Oh,
this stage. A lot of
uh-huh.
big companies out there, they'll have companies like Nuco or Philips or Animal Supply that already has millions, or not millions, thousands of chain stores, and they'll just take your product and distribute. So we've self-done everything up until this point. But to finally have some sort of e-commerce distribution out there, like a platform like this is the scale that we're definitely looking to get to. So I want to give a big shout out to Chewy for affording us that opportunity, and we're looking forward to the next steps here, and also continuing to innovate too. With more traction comes more opportunity to invest in new items. So especially like what we were talking about in the beginning of the podcast with Tall and being anxious in that home setting, my
Mm.
mind is going towards enrichment. Like, what are those different ways that we can find enrichment for pets? I know we've got the lick mat now, but maybe
Hmm.
we can come up with something new that I'm not going to mention yet. But that'll be something fun for the pets to play with as well too. So yeah, we're looking for
I
wellness.
love
We're looking
it.
for natural. We're looking for enrichment for pets. Let's help these pets stay zen. That's the
Yes.
goal out here.
Oh my gosh, this is huge, Alex. I'm so excited. That's awesome.
Well, we can't do it without your support, Erica, and we really appreciate you coming on the podcast today to be able to catch up with us. Amazing
Yeah,
work
so
that
fun.
that you did with Shiba Prom,
Thank you.
especially as we honor National Dog Rescue Day, which was May 20th, yesterday as well too. We broke that down. That was the main focal point that we had on this episode too. So if you're listening out there and you don't have a pet, go out there, and if you have the opportunity to rescue a dog, that's a life-changing moment for that dog, all for the better, and we highly encourage that here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Go rescue or go help, use the steps that Alex outlined to, just get involved to start. You don't have to go in there and commit for 18 years right away. You can take your time, and fostering is a great way, like Alex said, to see how a dog fits into your lifestyle, or maybe what you thought you wanted in a dog is actually, nope, I'm actually looking for a, not the most active dog in the world. I'd like
Hmm.
a buddy to sit with me on the couch.
Right.
you kind of learn through experience. So, and you're giving back to these animals so much just to be able to stretch their legs and go for a walk and go sniff some grass, and anything you can do to get involved will help. So, and then of course, if you're ready, rescue. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Let's go. Let's get
Yeah.
as many pets rescued as possible out there by spreading the word, by spreading awareness as well too, and celebrating it this week as well. We got to celebrate Chewy and we got to celebrate Shiba Prom this week, and
Yeah.
that's what we're
Out of this
doing.
world.
Let's go. Let's get into the Enu-verse here this week. Me and Erica, we got some guests teed up for you guys here in the near future. That's something that we've been working on, but we really appreciate you stopping by again to join us for this podcast. Erica, I'm looking forward to all that the summer has in store for us here as we get geared up here for some sunshine and some waves coming in this summer. And we'll look forward to catching you on the next one.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. Good to see everybody.
All right, see ya.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.